Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Thank you for inviting me here with so many dignitaries in terms of the quality of the conversation, what you kind of heard since morning. I want to welcome all the new students, the family members, the faculty from Medhavi, and all the dignitaries here. And I know that a day one for any new student is heart thumping in terms of not knowing what to expect. I'm sure Mr. Pravesh explained what has been his journey, typically with IITs has been. So I'm sure similarly the other students also would be going through, not knowing what's going to happen in this place. But I should tell you that I'm really a fan of what Medhavi does today. Because I've worked through and through with this service as a business, for last over 25 years. And I can tell you that what has been taught in the school versus what you do at work are two different things. And I can tell you that what I've learned as a PG HR student way back in the late 90s versus when I got into the job, I did very, very different. And I was thinking like, what is happening with the education? In the sense, what I've learned versus what I'm doing is two different stuff. That is where I'm really a fan of what Medhavi does. You're actually bringing skills, what is required at the job, rather than giving gyan on the education piece, right? So that's the difference. That's where I'm really a fan of what Medhavi does here. And that's the reason why I kind of pursue this piece of the education for our institution. And we are up and running live as of 20 days back. That's where we are. The second part of the whole program is about, we all know that Medhavi offers program towards service as an organization. And I have this adage which we typically use in our business: hire people for attitude, train people for skills, right? For example, when I look at our own industry and the business, I don't hire people typically from a quick serving restaurant to a quick serving restaurant. I hire people for attitude first, and then I look at whether the person brings in the skill from a function perspective and not from an industry perspective. To give an example, we have one of the business vertical called Brewing Bots, and the head of the business, a P&L business, is run by a gentleman who is to work with Xerox India. Nothing to do with vending as a business, right? And I asked my founder, why did you hire me? I have no background towards a QSR. While I worked with the hotels and a hospital, why did you hire me? So I want to kind of tell people that people hire people for attitude first. They would train them for skills. So if you want to be in a service business, and if you continue to be there, you need to acquire these two skills. And nothing better than what Medhavi does, training people on skills. And the beauty of this program, what I can tell you that, you earn while you learn. That's the other beauty. And I keep telling our own folks within the organization that if you have to go to a mainstream school or a college, you're going to spend $50,000, nothing less than $50,000 a year. Here you do the same diploma or a degree for $1,500 as a fees every month. And I would congratulate all the parents for nominating your kids or your student into this program. It's not easy for all the families to kind of fund kind of hefty amount. Organization like Medhavi brings education to the doorstep and to the people of Sikkim. And I think that's a wonderful moment for everybody, especially for people of this region, to have education at your doorstep and at a very, very nominal cost. And you're not depriving people of education because they don't, or rather they can't afford the money piece. I'm sure while you kind of immerse into your new educational institution, you will learn a lot of things. You need to collaborate with people. You will mingle with people, ask questions. Probably one of the things what I want to kind of tell people is that people who learn is those people who ask questions. If you don't ask questions, we don't live in an age today where there are saints sitting all over in this room. They wanted to teach you, right? So we live in a world, if you don't ask questions, you're not going to learn. So please learn this skill of asking questions. Do not think twice to say that if I ask question, what my colleagues going to think, what my friends going to think, how stupid question is this? While curiosity is one of the things most speakers have spoken here, one of the other things which you need to develop here is your ability to ask question irrespective of what other people are going to think. I actually feel that those people who ask questions have the ability to learn more versus those people think that what other people going to think, right? Lastly, while you're going to get immersed into this Medhavi Skills University, and this is the future of education. Please understand, this is the future of education. This is how education is going to get perceived. I want to take out a small tag of Elon Musk. He says, I don't need people who are college graduate. I need people who know their skills, who are smart, who are absolutely street smart, and who has the skills in their hand. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for any formal education. So that is where I feel that probably Medhavi has nailed in terms of education is concerned, where skills are so important, and that's what today's India actually needs. And I think, please understand, Medhavi is also running a program into the sector which I call evergreen sectors. Healthcare, as long as human beings on earth, as long as currency is running, this business would never fail. Which means you guys are getting into a course, an MLT or a DMLT or a radiology course, you will never go out of job. Hotels, I know of when I used to work in the hotel, Oberoi Hotel had close to 10 or 12 hotels. Oberoi has 50 hotels. Marriott is planning to open 500 hotels in India, which means there is dearth for people who knows their skill, right? So that is where an institution like Medhavi can actually skill you, upgrade you, and educate you. Lastly, thank you, founders for inviting me and, for sharing the stage with people, parents, dignitaries, and all the speakers. And I wish everybody all the best, and Jai Hind. Thank you.